Okay, while I'm waiting for that to load, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. Tonight is the first night of recording the audio for Kick-Ass. I'm only attempting to do the first scene because when you first start something, lots of things go wrong and you need to adjust your technique. I have practiced the technique, I have done some other things, so I'm not expecting a lot to go wrong, but I just want to start a small chunk and be happy with that, and then I'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so you may remember a while back I was working on the script. Tonight I am working with just that. And literally, if all goes well, that will take me just a few minutes to do. But, like I say, I just want to do this small bit this morning, tonight, and just make sure I've got the technique right, make sure I'm getting the quality that I need. So, let's stop mucking around and get onto it. Now what I'm going to do is just record some really basic tests, make sure that I've got the microphone position roughly right. Yeah. So this will just take a minute or so, and then I should have some results. Oh yeah, that's right, I need to change that setting. I've currently got a setting on here set so that it only records while I'm making noise. That's really cool, but it's not really practical for what I'm doing right at this moment.
Oh yeah, that's right, I'm changing that setting. Set so that it only records making noise. That's really cool, it's not really what I'm doing this moment.
And as you can tell, it's very disjointed because it's only cutting in when it knows there's sound, and as soon as it falls below a certain level it cuts out. Now I can adjust that level, but you get to a certain point that it just starts picking up all the noise, ambient noise in the room, and starts recording that. So that is definitely not the technique I want. Okay, this is a test to see how well the voice is coming through. Okay, now I'll play that little clip to you now.
Okay, this is a test to see how well the voice is coming through.
And you see that it's sounding pretty good, but there's a little bit of static on there. So what I'm going to do now is, can you see me that? No, you can't. Okay. Oh well, what I'm doing is I'm just selecting a little piece of it, which is where I'm not saying anything, and we're saying, okay, that's when it should be silent. So now I go to the noise removal, like so. I go and get the noise profile, and then I go and select everything, and I go and run the noise removal again, and now I apply it to everything. Like so. And now, if you have a listen to it...
Okay, this is a test to see how well the voice is coming through.
And you see that sounds a hell of a lot better. It does sound very slightly hollow. Now that will be a heck of a lot less noticeable once I actually start putting it in. I start mixing it with all the other noises and everything which I'm going to have in the actual movie. So that will not be a problem. It's actually going to sound a hell of a lot better than if I had the noise there. I'm ready to record. Now I haven't quite decided what voice I want one of the characters to sound like, so I'll come back to that character. It is one that I'd like to sound right. So I'm going to record one of the other characters first. That one won't take me very long. Then I'll have another character which is going to sound pretty similar. And then I'll come back to recording this other character. And by then I should well be in the mood of the thing, and sort of, yeah, should sound good. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Hello. Okay. Now I just thought I'd do some voices for a moment just to sort of get myself into the mood, but this isn't the voice which I'm going to use in the scene, but it seemed appropriate that I start just playing with the voices, and sooner or later I'm going to get to one that I like.
With that in mind, I haven't got much material to say, so I'm going to look a little bit stupid as I go along, but it might just get me into the mood, so I sound, you know what I mean? It just doesn't fit without having the character. No, that's not the voice I want. Goodness me, the strip though, you see. I know just the character for this voice. It's not in the scene either. So that means we have to move on to the next character. Fine. This voice totally doesn't work in everyday conversation. Okay, let's see. No, it's still not the right character. I've still got this accent. I'm doing different voices, but I'm getting the same accent, and that is somehow not what I'm looking for. Okay. One of the issues that's giving me a little bit of trouble here is that for all the important characters in the movie, I have the voices all mapped out in my head. I know what I want them to sound like. Now, for all the characters in this scene, nothing is going to be reused. And I currently don't have any of the teddies which are going to fill the characters. The two things sort of go together, because when you see the teddy, the voice pops into your head of what you want it to sound like. Captain! Right, I'm going to run with this, because I've sat here for now, a good 10 minutes just playing with the voices, and I'm still not getting it to come out the way I want it to, so I'm just going to run with it. I've got a basic idea of what I'm going to try and make it sound like. If need be, I can come and record this a bit later, but at least if I can get this scene done, then I'm starting to make progress, and then I can get the next bit done, I can get the next bit done, and if I have to redo a few bits, I don't mind, but I want to be making progress so that I'm achieving something every day, not so that I can go, oh, look what I've done. It's more so that once you start, then it's much easier to continue, but getting started is the hard part, which is why I've set so little for tonight, is just that getting started, that symbolism of actually getting started is more beneficial than the actual progress itself. Oh yes, and although this is a young person, he's also a hard ass. Captain, I've made the radar! See, it just came out. Okay, I'm happy with that. I've just listened to it, and it's coming through quite clearly. So the way I'm approaching this, rather than trying to sort of act it all out, I'm doing all of the voices for the movie entirely. So rather than try and act out all the different voices in one go within the scene, what I'm doing is I'm taking all of the lines that each person has to do and recording all of those, and trying to keep them in context, keep the mood and everything about those lines. So I'm actually recording each line individually, and but still within the same project. And then one project per person, and then when I've got all of that recorded, then I'll have this big library of what all the characters do. Anything that I think will be useful, I'll also record. So I'll do all the main stuff that's needed first, then I'll do all the extra stuff as I think it might be useful. The idea is that then I can just go, okay, well here's a sound of the person grumbling or whatever, and I can then use that at any point during the movie. So therefore, there will be bits like that where I'll make multiple samples so it doesn't sound like the same sample every single time, which would get a little bit tiring. Ah, bother. Okay, now I need to do something more on person one. Okay, this will literally just take a moment. There's some coughing in the first scene. Every character needs to do this, so that's why I missed it, was because I didn't have it specifically written down for this character. Okay, and here we go. I feel like such a twat saying the coughs like that. I'm happy with that. Now I'm on to person two. Happy with that. Okay, now I just need to record the coughing. Beautiful, let's have a listen. There's one more bit which will just make it slightly more realistic. Okay, happy with that. Save. Next person. Oh, gosh, okay, I missed that. Right, so person one actually has another bit which I missed, so I'm doing great. Right, I'm just about to run out of time, so I only have one character remaining, and I'm going to record all of it, but I'm not going to show all of it at this point, because I don't want to be giving too much plot away. Hurry, 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 okay. Ooh, try that one. That's the one. There we go. Lots of fumbling to get that voice right, and then I just recorded the whole lot in one go. I'm happy with that, and now I can start packing up. That's the one I want. Ooh, program. Maybe not.